Okay, I think we're back, and I think I have audio. If somebody can tell me whether I have audio or not, or if it sounds weird, that would definitely be appreciated. So thanks to everybody who was kind of hanging in there. And let me see what's going on here. So it says we are streaming. It says we are live. So we will see what's happening here. Should be live again. So takes a couple minutes sometimes for everything to catch up. What Okay. Do I sound like I'm trying to see if I sound like I'm talking in a can? Okay. Do I sound like I do sound like I'm talking in a can. Hold on a second. Trying to see if I sound like I'm talking in a can. Okay. Is this better? I do sound like I'm talking in a can. Hold on a second. Okay. Is this better? Oh, we fixed the audio. All right. So, thank you to everybody who came back. It's the little things I get so excited about. Now I need to mute this. All right, so my other stream is now, because I watch myself so I can look at the comments. So, thank you everybody for coming back. I know we had a little bit of a technical issue there getting started. And I'm going to blame Microsoft and Windows and all the updates that they force me to do, but they do keep me secure. So, first of all, yeah, so you notice I got this new hat. So I want to thank my buddy Joel for sending me this new hat. You'll notice I have kind of a thing for hats. And as I'm getting older and the bald spot's getting bigger, hats are going to become more important to protecting my noggin. And he is a network admin for Libby's Pumpkins, really Nestle, right? And he bought one of these and sent it over. And it's really nice. It's fitted, so it's really nice. And so I appreciate him sending that over. So. Sean, you could check eBay, maybe Libby's store. I don't know if they sell them online or not, but and then also I want to let you know I have been having some internet problems the last few days. So if the stream gets a little hinky at some point, then just know that we could run into an issue. But I appreciate you all being here this morning. And I was actually thinking about wearing a fake mustache. What do you think about that? Maybe not. Maybe in some video coming up, I'll wear a fake mustache. But thanks everybody for being here. I see Joe, Mike, John, Justin, Sean, James is here. James, tell Connor that I said hi. Yeah, I'm gonna grow the beard back at some point. Yeah. So I am going to be getting a second internet connection here for redundancy. And I'm hoping that the company that we used to have at our old house, they are 3 miles down the road. And I'm hoping that everybody has signed up and that we get, the fiber. So I'll have redundant connections here. It'll be beautiful. Follow up on the generator. When we talked about that, a few of you told me that the carburetor should be dual fuel, and the generator, the carburetor is indeed dual fuel. Right now it's set for nat gas because it's hooked directly into the gas provider. It exercises every Monday with a full load. It's been working beautifully. And the electrician showed me how, if we have to switch it over to propane, he showed me how to do that. So somebody says there's a spot on the cam. I think it's like over my right shoulder. So we'll have to get that cleaned. But speaking of that, yeah, I can see it over here too. I'm not going to mess with it while we're in the live stream. I don't have anything here that I could feel good about. You know what? Maybe I do. Hold on a second. Oh, I didn't want to drop that. Let's see. Joe's laughing because Joe's live stream is very manicured and very procured, and I hop in there and then make crazy comments, and and then you come here and I have no audio. I'm dropping stuff on the floor. But I was looking for like a microfiber cloth, and I don't see one close enough that I want to mess with it. So you want me to just stand over the spot? Is that better? If I stand over the spot and leave the shadow like on my neckline, can you still see the spot? Maybe there's a couple spots. Anyway, so good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's switch over and take a look at our web browser. Let's talk about the current shortage of toilet paper in the United States, and then let's also talk about the shortage of webcams, cam links, and the whole bit. Like, I had somebody email me the other day, and they're like, "Look, we were going to buy this $30 webcam. It's now almost $300." And I said, "I know that's what's happening with the market right now." The other thing is, I've been wanting a cam link. I should have, when I bought my Stream Deck, I should have bought the cam link at the same time. Instead of him hauling around about that purchase, $129 purchase, I should have just done it, because now cam links, if you can find them, they're like $400, and I refuse to pay $400 for a cam link when it's a $129 piece of hardware. But it allows me to remove the Logitech out of the situation. I was going to have two. I've got two Logitechs, but we let somebody borrow one because they have to do online classes and stuff. Because I want an overhead cam over here so we can have stuff on the desk that we can switch back and forth and talk about. But anyway, so I wanted a cam link, because then I was just going to use my Canon DSLR. This is my main driver for the videos that you see that are higher quality on the video. They came out of this. And then you can see I've got the Rode wireless mic set up on it. I really love this setup. And then I do have the M100 to do overhead video. But anyway, so I wanted to start using this as the, I'll comment on that in a second, Joe. I wanted to start using my Canon M50 for the quality, and so I think I'm going to give this Sparco Cam a shot. If anybody's used this, let me know. But what Sparco Cam does is it lets you use a large selection of Canon and Nikon DSLRs using the USB port as a webcam, and it allows you to do all kinds of other things with it. And so really the license for this thing is not bad. If I do a standard license for just the Canon, it's $49.95. And I don't have a Nikon, so I don't need that. So I could just get away with this. And I did confirm with them. Their support got back to me very quickly. I opened a ticket. I would friend of mine, Jeff, is in the live stream and made a comment, and we'll follow up on that in a second. Totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, it does not work with my M100. So the M50, and right now I'm not in the market to buy a much more expensive DSLR until I can get to a place where I feel that I've mastered the settings on the other one. So let's hop over to the comments real quick. Let's see. So Joe says that he only watches my channel to make his content better. So what he means is he comes here to watch all the mistakes and then learns how to avoid them, right? So it's the same way we kind of teach our children. And which is funny because sometimes in meetings, someone will ask me for my opinion. And when you ask me for my opinion and you tell me to be honest, then you open the door and I stick my foot in. And then sometimes maybe I will pontificate and I once asked somebody who's in these meetings with me, I'm like, hey, you know, do you think maybe I shouldn't do that? And this person says, no, you just make the rest of us look better. And then of course she laughed and everything and says, I'm just kidding. But to a certain degree, people wouldn't say things like that if they didn't mean them, I don't think. But anyway, I mean, if you want an honest opinion, if you don't want an honest opinion, don't ask, because if you want an honest opinion, you're going to get it. And then Jeff says, if only you know someone that does video streaming broadcast for a living. So, Jeff, we will have to catch up on what some of my other options are on my shoestring budget that you are aware of. And then Joe says, no, Joe, you're serious. Like, you're watching a dude make mistakes live. I get it. And then somebody else is asking about the OSCPA. And so, like anything else, there are tons of acronyms for everything. And so what do I think about the Oregon Society of Certified Public Accountants? Well, I think if you're a certified public accountant in Oregon, that it might be a good thing to get into. But if you're talking about OSCPA as in like the web frame and the testing there, if that's what you're talking about, let me know. So you might have to expand on that. I'm not 100% sure what your acronym means. So go ahead and expand on that, Ryan. And somebody said the live stream stopped. I'm hoping that it's going again, but I see us losing people that are watching, so maybe it is. Don't know. Let's see. Ryan says they're forcing this new generation of cybersecurity professionals to become script kiddies. So let's talk about being a cyber security professional. And so I am by trade, I'm in management, but networking and security is really my background, virtualization, things like that. But when you get into information security, so information security is this subset of IT. So here is IT, here is information security. Then when you drill down in information security, it does this again, right? So a lot of times, especially on the YouTubes, you'll see people, they want to talk about the cool hacks, and they want to talk about the software, and they want to talk about this, and they want to talk about that. That's just a small subsection of what we have to worry about as information security professionals. So that technical side of it is just one thing. Then there's people management, there's change management, there is actual documentation, you have to deal with auditors. There are so many things, which is also why once you drill down into like security, we're segmented, within security. You have people who are management only, who wrangle all those things. You have people who are technical only, that are always in the weeds. And then the management person will take that and translate it for the rest of the, executive staff and things like that. And then you have some of us who have to compress all those things and do the best that we can to beat all of those things. And so I have very specific methodologies, from everything from documentation to board presentations and everything in between with the technical. So, a lot of times you'll see people who all they want to talk about is the technical, because that's all they know. They don't understand people. They don't understand the social networking or even the social engineering part of it. They don't understand what the board wants to see. They don't understand how to translate what the company needs versus all these cool toys that they get to play with. There's a lot to it, and a lot of it is really understanding people and social connections and how all the pieces fit together. So, all right, let's see. Comments. Yeah, everybody says it's working fine. So Cecil says, if a GWN 7630 is joined to the GWN cloud, do you lose access on its local LAN to manage it? You should still be able to log into the web interface on that. And that's something that we can try. Yeah, so Ryan says he's got a degree in business and accounting. So a lot of times in the management of companies, you will see people that have degrees doing other things. I know people that have degrees that have nothing to do with what they do, but they're really good at what they do. Now, I will tell you, as far as technology goes, the one thing that I believe is that CIOs yes, they need to understand business, but in something with technology, technology is awesome, but it can also, if you don't do it right, you can end up on the losing end and it can be devastating. And so it is my belief that if you're going to be in the C-suite, which this is a whole other soapbox thing that's happening here, if you're going to be the CIO, you have better been in the trenches to understand what you're leading. Because if you have no idea and you just read some management book and you went to some management school in IT, it's going to fail you, because it's more than just managing people in IT, you know? So it's and I will tell you, I have friends that, you know, they have, their CIOs are these C-suites that have never been in the trenches. And one of the things they tell people is, we're going to move everything to Microsoft Azure and it's going to be so awesome. And we're going to get to lay off IT staff. And then what happens is their yearly sin tax to Microsoft goes up $500,000. They were not able to lay off any IT staff. Now you've got connectivity issues when the cloud goes down. You know, the cloud is okay for storing pictures and stuff that I don't care about the security on. But you're going to see a series of videos where I am. So Justin Wave, I'm going to tell you that I had probably one of the worst human beings that I've ever known in my entire life. Graduated with a master's degree from Capella University and in IT management, and he could turn a computer on. And he lived and died by that book. And he had he had management buffaloed and stuff like that, but anybody who reported to him knew that he didn't understand how to manage people, and especially not how to manage geeks. So I'd take that book, and if that's all you're basing everything on, I would burn that book. I'd throw that right in the fireplace. And the author of that book can feel free to reach out to me and we'll have a public debate. I've never read the book, but I worked for somebody who read that book, and it was absolutely hands down the worst manager I've ever had in my entire life. Now I got a lot of, you know, people ask me, well, you know, your management background. I've worked for horrible, horrible managers. And so the way that I develop my management style is basically I know how to not treat people because I was treated in a certain way. So I'm not going to name any names, but if you know me and you know who I've reported to and things like that, you're going to know that I have reported to the one person is no longer with us. That was the worst manager I ever had. Now I got a lot of excellent opportunities from that. But it's because I was able to carry myself. But then the other guy is still in the position that he was in, and he's a megalomaniac, and he's one of these. So basically, I had to live in the dirt and in the dark, and in the compost for years. And I learned how to not treat people, to learn how to treat people, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So, and yeah, Bob Carpenter is, and so the cloud, is, yeah. Joe and I are going to get into, a fist fight over the cloud, but, no, we're not really. That's a joke. But after this is all over, Joe, we definitely, us smaller YouTubers, Unky Joe and Quick Tech Solutions, when this is all over, we all need to fly somewhere centralized and have a drink and do a big live stream. But I'm not going to rail on the cloud today. But yeah, bad managers do breed bad managers occasionally. It depends if you are motivated. So it's just like anything else, right? You can have a college degree, you can have certifications, but are you just certified on paper? Are you just, did you just put in the minimal amount of work to get your degree? The thing is, like, if someone is motivated and they want to be educated, they are going to be educated. They are going to excel. They are going to go places. So if you get somebody who doesn't want that and who doesn't want to live their best life and doesn't want to be a positive influence for people who are around them, then yeah, they're going to follow in the tracks of those bad managers. But it's like, you know why you don't take puppies away from the mother dogs at an early age? It's because this is where they learn things about bite inhibition and about social behaviors that are acceptable and social behaviors that aren't. And you even see this in little kids, right? Where if there's a group of little kids and there's one little kid who keeps getting in trouble all the time, the other kids will gravitate away because people really don't want to be in trouble. But if you get to a point in your life where, you've got this bad manager and you're watching this person and that's how they're surviving and you think that that's the easy road, then you could very, very well lead yourself down that path. I actually have a book. I have the ISBN for it, and I've got about 27 chapters, and it's called The Poodle Man Cometh, Tales for the Clueless. And it's actually, I don't have it written, but I have all the chapters laid out. I have the ISBN, and it is a book based on my real life and about the horrible managers that I've worked for, and about basically how to treat people with respect, even with differing viewpoints, and come together for the greater good. And if you can't do that, you're going to find yourself in difficulties your entire life, and you're always going to feel like people are ganging up on you. It's because most of us want to get along with people. Most of us don't want to be jerks. Most of us, want to support each other, but you run into these few little bad apples that spoil the whole thing. So one of my life goals is to have that book written. And one thing that is going to help me is, and this is not a plug, I'm not being paid, I'm not a shill, but if you have not checked out otter.io, I have it on my phone. We'll pull up the website for it here real quick. I think it's otter.io. No, that's not it. Otter AI. Let's see. Is it Otter? Yeah, otter.ai. So I had it wrong. What this does is I'm using the free version and I've been testing it out, and it is beautiful, right? So we can set this up and I can start recording on my phone, and it can differentiate between different people in the conversations, and it transcribes the conversation. So it'll say person one, and then if somebody else started talking, it'll say person two. And, it's awesome. So I'm actually going to get to a point, and I'm hoping it's this year, where I can just sit down in front of Otter and I can just and let it roll. I'll get it transcribed. I'll take out the stuff that I shouldn't say, right? Because there's always some of that, like when you get on a roll and you take it a little too far, because you get emotional, right? You get into the feels, you get away from the facts. And then I'll get it cleaned up. I'm going to have Tim Bear do a once over on it, and then I'm going to publish it and get a short run on it. So, and each copy I'll probably do like 100 copies. They're all going to come with, and you'll understand why after you read the book, with a shimmery lip gloss. The Poodle Man is a nickname for one of those supervisors that was a horrible, and is probably still a horrible leader. The real names will not be used in the book. I don't want to get sued. But then at some point I'll probably have a forum with it, because I am 100% sure that if I've worked for horrible managers, that everybody out there has worked for horrible managers. And they say that people leave horrible managers, not horrible companies. And I agree with that to a certain extent. To a large extent. I'm probably like 95% comfortable with that, and I do believe that there's like a 5% error there, or a margin there, where people are leaving bad companies. So yeah, I think everybody does know the Poodle Man at work, whether you report to them or not. I do believe that there's the Poodle Man exists, right? In every organization. So let's go back to the comments here. Jerry Scroggin says that he got his UCM set up. Yeah, Jerry Scroggins, if your UCM is dropping calls after 32 seconds, it's probably a NAT problem. So you'll want to check into that. Azure does go down. AWS goes down. In fact, I'm going to go back to drawing Angry Cloud. That's how I'm going to start finding some peace through some of this. And I think I bought the domain already, and I'm going to start publishing them. But, the whole East Coast of AWS was down a couple of years ago. So, yeah, the cloud does go down. Brandon asks, what do you think about having a cloud-based electronic medical record system? So when you say cloud-based, if the hospital owns the data center, if the hospital has proper encryption set up, that could be considered a cloud-based service. But am I going to stick an EMR in AWS? Probably not, because HIPAA and JACO have some specific requirements about shared servers with compliance. And so any of you who are on a shared server and you have doctor's offices that are using like a shared server, you're probably going to want to look into that. I can't say for 100%, because it depends what you're using it for, but medical has some very specific things about shared servers. And I have a friend in Texas who's an expert on that. He actually does consulting for large hospitals, large doctors firms. And so if you need that, we can get more details on that. Let's see here. DJ Ware says, the other problem with bad managers is that they hire incompetent people so they won't look as bad. Sometimes that is true. The other thing is you've all heard of the Peter Principle. You should all check out Scott Adams' The Dilbert Principle, because that book is awesome. One day I was homesick and I read the entire book laying in bed, and it made me laugh, but it's scary when you start identifying those people around you. So let's see. Ryan says, you get Equifax. With them using Apache struts and their quote-unquote security had a fine arts degree. Fine art of what? Screwing 140 million? Yeah, I mean, it's just a thing. Like, how can you... I don't know. Some people may think I'm over the top on security, but at least I'll be able to defend my decisions in the end when it hits the fan. I'll be able to absolutely justify to anybody why I made the decisions that I did. Let's see. Back to the comments. I appreciate everybody hopping in here. Alonzo says, I am in IT management. I do not micromanage my team. My team knows more than me, and that's okay. I can jump in and assist with needed. Yes, but Alonzo, you have so Alonzo is a friend and a customer of mine, but Alonzo has a very good, solid base of IT. So I am also in IT management, and I not only that, but then we do the consulting. But I will tell you that I know several people that if you said, let's assemble an Olympic team for IT, I have somebody who would be my desktop person, my desktop troubleshooting person, and things like that. Because yes, I can do it, but there are some people that when they get into that portion, that's where they swim, that's where they live, that's where they live, that's where they eat, that's where they breathe. And that's like some of us with networking and security and phone systems and all that, that's where we live and even breathe. And then also on the management side, you have to tie some of these things together and just make it who you are. So I love it when you all call me on the phone. And I was just talking about this. I've talked about this several times over the last couple of days. People will get a hold of me on the phone and they're like, you sound just like you do in your videos. And I'm like, yes, if you come talk to me at my day job, I sound exactly like this. Like, this is not a persona. This is not an act. This is not, a face that I put on. I don't know how to be anybody else. This is what I do. You can ask my wife and kids. Like, this is a lifestyle. It's not like somebody who just goes and puts in 8 hours and then that's it. Like, this is how we live, right? So it is what it is. I don't know any other way to explain it. So let's see here. Yeah, Jordan Peterson is an interesting cat. Let's see here. I am... Bob says I have no filter. Yeah. So Nathan is here. And so Tim will probably not appreciate me talking about this because it's not ready yet. But we are creating online courses, and NetTool, working with Nathan over there, you're going to be able to get a certification designed by us, backed by NetTool. And so there'll be an online course, and you'll go through it, and then you will take the exam, and you will be then NetTool certified. And so we're working out the details on that, working out the training courses and stuff like that. But that's just where we're starting with that. NetTool has been a very awesome partner over the last couple years. I'm very grateful that we've seemed to at this point had a kind of an exclusive, because with a lot of this stuff that you see, we don't get very many exclusives because the marketing managers for these companies, they'll send out APs and stuff like that. Like you probably all just saw, Crosstalk do a video on the instant on access points. I have those exact same access points. My video is going to be different. And so a lot of this stuff, my videos will lag because we're all doing the same videos and I don't want my videos to be the same. So Nathan, I hope that I get to continue to be that exclusive for now. So we'll see how that goes. But we're really excited. And Tim just pinged me, so I don't know if Tim's watching this or if Tim has another question. So looks like Tim is not watching. Oh, no, Tim is putting his pellet grill together, which is his pellet smoker, which is absolutely awesome. He's going to have a good day. So he's not watching this, but he did just send me some pictures on that. All right, back to the comments. Sean says, I see way too many people that can't or don't think outside of the box or break down an issue or a trouble ticket in a basic form from the start and easy to hard. So end users are a Pandora's box all in themselves. And we always know, like the joke in IT is, did you restart it? Did you reboot it? But I always, that's the very first thing that I always still ask every time. Just because I'm not saying that people lie, but sometimes they think that we have magic wands and they think that the reboot doesn't need to happen, that we'll be able to fix it. And a lot of times the problem could be fixed faster if they would have just rebooted it. So that's kind of a thing. But let's see. Back to the comments here. Yeah, we all know the Poodle Man. We all know the Poodle Man. I did get talked to about my TPS reports, which is why I now make sure that they all have cover sheets. Is Grandstreams working on a heads-up display? I think that's what HUD means. We'll have to talk about that. And Ryan, I'm not sure what sounds like a horrible idea, Ryan. So if you could put that in the comments about what is a horrible idea, and no, you will not offend me. I'm a very, 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 very difficult person to offend if you know me. Let's see. No, I don't. I'm not 100% sure that cloud is safe for medical. It just depends on how it's built out. Somebody says, why do cowboys get such a bad rap? Is it because we ignore management and get stuff done? Well, it depends. A lot of times, depends. Is the CIO the cowboy, or is it somebody under the CIO? Because in a corporate structure, not that I'm a corporate shill or anything like that, but there is a chain of command. There is definitely a pecking order. You can be a leader inside of that chain of command without breaking the chain. But it's sometimes cowboys get things done. Sometimes cowboys start movements that get things done and make change happen. But cowboys can also be very dangerous. And I will tell you from being on a leadership team that leadership all needs to be in lockstep, especially in times like we're in now. And so you can't afford a cowboy at the leadership level like that. So there's a lot that goes into that too. There's a lot of personalities and things like that. So I think Nathan gave us the thumbs up. So I'm hoping that means good. Did you try rebooting your manager? That's hilarious. Bob, I appreciate the kind words. Bob says that nobody will ever accuse me of being just like everybody else. Yeah, so, and that's the thing. People are like, oh, Willie's in this group and everything. I'm like, dude, I put my pants on the exact same way that you do. It's just I've chosen to, create this platform and put the information out there. And I think it makes us all better. So Ryan, can you put in the comments what you think was a bad idea? Can you clarify that? Because I don't think I caught that. So while we're waiting for Ryan to respond to us, oh hey Joe, can you let Techie Techie T-shirt club know that the link that I've been using in my videos doesn't work. And Sean says, Willie, you don't wear pants. I will have you know. Now, I happen to be wearing a pair of shorts underneath these because I had to go out in public and get the mail. But yes, I do wear pants. Yes, those are gray sweatpants, and now they're over there. But I have a pair of shorts on, I promise. Ryan meant medical data in the cloud. Yeah, so if you're a big medical provider and you have your own data centers, so we have OSF Healthcare where I'm at, and they are massive. They are huge. Just look them up. I mean, they're huge. They're so huge, they spun off their IT and their phone people into like another company that does logistics for other hospitals or can do logistics for other hospitals. And I probably just butchered that explanation, but I know several people who work there, and they have like one of the highest tiered certified data centers. I think it's almost like the top tier. It's like the second one down. And so they can create their own cloud. They can do all this, and they use vastly different technologies. Now the basics are the same, VLANs, IPs, stuff like that, but the technology that they use to deliver that is much different than what, our niche here is in this channel. They're going to use things like, you're going to hear, like Fabric and real software-defined networking, not what Unify calls software-defined networking. So, oh man. Hey, Joe, Cajoling Technology, if you're still on, can you find out, did Techie T-shirt Club go out of business and I didn't know? That would be horrible. Let's hop back over to the web browser. So Otter is where I'm going to bang out all of those chapters in my book, because I do want to get that done. But I've just got so many crazy stories that when you read this, you're going to be like, oh my God, real people said this, real people did this. And it's going to be like, yeah, we lived through this. So back to this. Has anybody used Sparco Cam? I want to know, I want to know if anybody's used this. So David says, any very technical IT skill is a commodity that can be outsourced. The best IT positions are the ones that are incorporated with the business, any IT management. So what you have seen in America is this trend of people know that they're going to get worse service when they outsource their IT. But they have to do it. They have to burn the bridge. They have to find out that it's not the answer. For example, Lowe's a few years ago decided they were going to outsource their IT. At that point, I made a conscious decision to tell everybody that I knew that I would not be buying from Lowe's, that I would not spend another penny there. I didn't spend, and other people jumped on that same bandwagon. I don't know what was the catalyst, but they came back and hired something like 1,400 new IT people, moved stuff back on shores and stuff like that. So these companies just have to get burned, these big companies, because I promise you that that's one thing, that's the one differentiator between me and someone else, and that's sitting in a call center, is my customer service, my ability to think outside of the box, my ability to use my broad knowledge set to be able to get me to the right answers quickly, securely, safely, and meet the customer's needs. There's no remote call center person that's ever going to be able to provide the level of customer service that I can. That is the one thing that I will get on my high horse about. The customer service that we provide is it's second to none. And it's even second to none in anybody that's in my same business category. That I promise. Which is why I tell people that if you get a hold of us and there is something that we can't provide, something that we can't do, I'm not going to tell you I can, because I don't want the project to fizzle out. It's going to be, we're going to send you off to another company. And every week I send referrals out to other places, because I can't handle the project. I can't get it done in time. I had another one, that I was dealing with. The guy needed some VLANs and stuff. I couldn't meet his timeline at this point because of everything that's going on. I gave him a full refund. And, we, usually we don't offer refunds on that new customer 2 hours, because that's what gets you locked into a spot on the calendar. And, it's, I don't know. I'll get off that horse, but let's go back real quick. So I'm going to try this Sparco Cam. And this Sparco Cam is supposed to be able to then to tie into OBS, which is what I use for this. and it's supposed to allow me to use my Canon M50. And so you can see all these different supported cameras. Look at all these Canon cameras, and then this little itty bitty list of Nikon. That was just a joke, by the way. Nikon cameras are fantastic, and Fuji, and everybody makes DSLR cameras. They're awesome. I'm just a Canon person, have been for a long time. But yeah, so I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to download the demo. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to stand here, record a video, see how it works out for us. But I was hoping that somebody else had already used this. All right, so let's go back to the comments real quick. All right, so Matt says HCA is the biggest name in healthcare in Nashville. They had the same folks that build data centers for Facebook build one for him here in Preston. Yeah, so that's the thing. These hospitals understand that data is as important as beds, and so they are making that investment in the future. And they're not putting it in AWS. They're not putting it in Azure. Are they putting some things out there? Maybe. But they're not putting, a lot of these places are not putting that information out there. So no, I do not think that the cloud is a good, safe place, a cloud that other people can access. AWS, Azure, DigitalOcean. Oh God, don't ever put anything on DigitalOcean like that. That would be, I love DigitalOcean, but if you've ever spun up a DigitalOcean droplet and not put a firewall on it to see how quickly they compromise your root password, it takes minutes. Sometimes a couple hours. So those systems are so popular that I would never put anything like that out there. Yep, some dude in a hat. That's what I am. Yeah, and even David agrees, that he's seen the pendulum. People come in, they want to do that outsourcing, and they never learn their lesson. You will always get better service with staff internally if you hire the right people. And the other thing is the cost, right? So the thing is, when you have a salaried employee, you can work them more than 2,048 hours a year, and it doesn't cost you anymore, depending on, if they're salaried and they don't get e-time, overtime, things like that, then you can work them more than 2,048 hours. So let's do some math. Let's do this. Let's bring up a calculator. And so let's say that somebody makes $120,000 a year. Let's do this. Let's say that $150,000 a year is your total compensation package. Okay, so this is the crazy thing about when government entities have to post salaries online, is that a lot of people don't understand the difference between a salary and a total compensation. So a total compensation is going to be your salary plus the value of all of your benefits. So health insurance, retirement, and all that stuff, right? Added together. So that doesn't mean that you're bringing home $150,000 a year, and people need to understand that, right? That just happens to mean that everything that you're getting paid is worth $150,000 a year. So let's say that an employee's total compensation package with their health insurance, their vacation, any bonuses, anything like that, is $150,000 a year. You take that and you divide it by 2,048 hours in a work year, and it's only costing the company $73 an hour to have this person at their disposal 24/7, 365, right? So let's take that 150,000. Let's take that same 150,000. And anybody that I know that's in a professional capacity, they're working overtime, right? They're not just working 40 hours and then walking away from it at the end of the week. So let's say that they work an extra 10 hours a week, so that's 520 hours a year, which is low, I know from experience. So let's just say that you're working 2,500 hours a year. Now your cost to the company came down to $60 an hour, right? So at some point, to manage an infrastructure that some of us manage, just the management fees for all of the servers, all of the workstations, everything like that is going to be $150,000, right? And you don't get any troubleshooting time with that. You don't get the networking side of it. I'm talking just workstations and servers is going to cost you that. So, I mean, there's definitely some math and some formulas in there, but a lot of places they've got to get burned to realize that it's not worth it. Oh man, yeah. So Cajoling Technologies says that Techie T-shirt Club did close. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Jacob Johnson. I want to say hi to Jacob Johnson. Jacob is he's lives about an hour away from here. And Jacob donated 2 Dell R710 servers to the channel. I am still rearranging all of, this is my office here. And then I have another work area where I filmed the last video that you saw. And Jacob, that is where those servers are going to go and live. Because I also have a Synology UC3200 that's sitting in the box that we're going to hook into that to do some videos with. And so I haven't done anything yet. They will get ESXi, at a minimum, ESXi 6.7 on one and overt on the other, so that we can look at the different iSCSI options. So that is coming quickly. As soon as I get some hard drives for this UC3200, you will see the Dell R710 sitting on the bench in there. So I want to thank you again, Jacob. Jacob was so, it really, I'm truly, I'm fortunate and blessed that people are as kind to me and reach out like Jacob did and donate things to the channel. So once again, thank you, Jacob. I totally appreciate that. Yeah, DigitalOcean works great for web hosting. Let's see. Yeah, so David, so depending on your classification and if you manage employees and stuff like that, you know, yeah, you can still be, you know, salary, but then get overtime and things like that. What else? Ryan says, I thought I'd heard it all. I facepalmed and thought, how is this person still breathing? I got over myself because everyone has their own skill level. I must have missed something, Ryan, in the comments. Oh, back in the day, I was just starting out in IT doing tech support for major ISPs. Oh my goodness, Ryan, that's crazy that somebody thinks that a WISP is using dial-up modems. That's hilarious. So there's lots of stuff going on. You know, today was just a check-in, make sure everybody's still healthy, still sane. You know, if you need somebody to talk to, you can go fill out my contact form or email me. You know, my email is out there too. Email me, just strike up a conversation. I try to respond to every email, every contact form. Know that right now we are all in this together. And so if you're feeling lonely, reach out, you know. So I was thinking about starting a big Jitsi. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sean Woods, can you post a link to that Sangoma thing real quick? So for those of you that follow Sangoma, they posted that they just launched this brand new nifty, swifty teleconference, video conference software. And it actually looks like a rebranded Jitsi. I think it's called is it Sangoma Meet? Let's see. Yeah, it's called Sangoma Meet. I don't know if, yeah, so here it is. Let me switch over. I got it here, Sean. So I'm going to switch back over to this. And this looks an awful lot like Jitsi. And if I start a new meeting here, you can see that this looks exactly like Jitsi, except they've rebranded it. So I reached out on their Twitter post about this and just asked for clarification on that, just because I didn't see it anywhere. So I don't know if they're eventually going to start charging for this or what Sangoma is going to do. Sangoma makes me nervous anyway, because they bought Digium, and so now they technically own the rights to Asterisk. So if they really wanted to stick it to every other PBX manufacturer besides themselves, they could figure out a way to do it. But yeah, I mean, even if it's, I don't know, let me look at the source code and see if I view the source code here, let's flip back over there. So here's the source code for their page, and I'm not seeing anything here. Let's do a Control F. Oh, so what they did was they're still calling things in the source code to Jitsi. let's see if they, let's see, Jitsi, show Jitsi watermark true. So that watermark that's in the upper left-hand corner is probably the Jitsi watermark. So it looks like they just replaced that. So I was just looking for a little acknowledgement from them that that's what they did. Now we know that they did because we can see that it's there. So if they're going to start charging for this, I don't know. I would just like to see a shout out to Jitsi because they spun it up and they, the way it was presented is that it was kind of their deal. I don't know. It'd just be nice for them to say, yeah, it's based on Jitsi and I don't know. As many problems as we have in this market segment with people and their source code, name a company, and attributing back to the GPL and things like that. So it's just something that would be, something that they it'd be nice just to give credit where credit's due. Yeah. So and that would be nice if they funded Jitsi. Jitsi is owned by 8x8, which of course is, for profit. So let me pull up the 8x8 website here. So yeah, Jitsi is owned by 8x8, but they make it very clear on Jitsi at the end that it's owned, but they provide Jitsi at free of charge. So if Sangoma is going to start, eventually charging for this, so here we go at the bottom now. So they did. So I have to retract everything that I said. Open foot, open mouth, insert foot. Here, Sangoma Meat makes use of Jitsi. So they do mention it. So I'm sorry, Sangoma. You do mention it. It was just down here where I didn't see it. So, and they send a link off to Jitsi. So, and they've got bigger fish to fry, so I'm not surprised that they didn't respond to my tweet because they were probably like, Willie, you're intelligent enough to read the website. Go look at the website, and there it is. So Sangoma Meat makes use of Jitsi. So we'll see if Sangoma buys 8x8 next, and then they'll own the source code for Jitsi, and then we'll see, where things go in the future with Sangoma. So James and I have actually looked at other PBXs that are not asterisk based in case in the future Sangoma tries to do anything hinky with the licensing for that. We want to make sure that we're able to offer other solutions not completely based around asterisk as well. So, and the solutions that we're looking at are based on FreeSwitch. So, so Sangoma does say that Sangoma Meat makes use of Jitsi. So congratulations to them, and I am sorry that I did not see that sooner. IP Video Talk is pretty good. You're going to see that in some upcoming videos. You'll see IP Video Talk, that is GrandStream's solution. So, and for those of you that may have management that is on, they're like, well, why should we use Jitsi? Just because it's open source? That's one reason, because we can audit the code and think about the security of it. But it is a tool that's being used around the world. So I'm actually preparing a Jitsi versus Zoom and a Jitsi versus Microsoft Teams PowerPoint presentation. And I will release that to the public. Just so that those of you who may run into people who want to argue about using a paid platform versus a free platform will have a leg to stand on. So look at that. Look for that in the next couple of weeks. I currently already have the template set up, but I just have to start plugging things in and making sure that I'm citing sources correctly. So, yeah, I doubt that anything that Willie Howe said anything about Sangoma made them update their website. To be honest with you, this was, if I had to guess, this was probably here from the beginning, and I missed it because I immediately went to the meet.sangoma .com. So when you go to meet.sangoma.com, there's nothing on the, when you go to meet.sangoma.com, there's nothing here on the main page. Now you can see that at the bottom of this, and you actually can't see it. Let me see if I can zoom this out. Nope, that's not helping. All right, so at the bottom, let me take a screenshot. At the bottom of this, give me just a second here. So at the bottom of the screen, you see it says brought to you by Sangoma, a trusted provider of unified communications. And then over here it says, learn more about Sangoma and how we enable work from home. They've labeled it Sangoma Meet. So that's there. So brought to you by Sangoma here. So this is just on the Meet page. And then if we click FAQ, let's see, is Sangoma Meet free? So let's see, let's just do a Control F on this and see if it's Jitsi. Okay, so what technology is behind Sangoma Meet? Sangoma Meet is based on WebRTC, which provides video conferencing and is supported by most of the major web browsers today. Our software stack is built upon several open source tools, including Jitsi Meet, FreeSwitch, HA Proxy, Prometheus, Grafana, CollectD, and other tools. So actually, I think, did this language just come right from Jitsi? Can anybody tell me that? I think for some reason, I think I remember seeing this language on the Jitsi site. Let's see here. Jitsi. Let's see. About. Let's see here. Oh, Jitsi surpasses 10 million monthly average users. That's awesome. Let's see. What is Jitsi? How can I use it? Is Jitsi free? What are the major Jitsi projects? Let's see. So let's just do a quick Google search for Jitsi and FreeSwitch. So, wait a minute though. Did I just see that Sangoma says that they're using FreeSwitch? So FreeSwitch is the competitor to Asterisk. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Sangoma's going to buy FreeSwitch and then everything in the world's going to be Sangoma. So, interesting. But I thought I saw Jitsi Meet. So they do say that they use Jitsi here, and then but you have to go to the FAQ for that, and then you start a meeting, and then when you end the meeting, that's when they tell you that it makes use of Jitsi down here at the bottom. So when you actually do a Jitsi Meet, oh, wrong link, I'm in a hurry. When you do a Jitsi Meet and you end the Jitsi Meet, then it says powered by Jitsi down here. You can't see it because of my, hold on a second. So there, you can see at the bottom where it says powered by Jitsi. So now you can see down here it says Sangoma Meet makes use of Jitsi. But they don't say anything about any of those other. They certainly aren't saying here that Sangoma uses FreeSwitch. God, I hope Sangoma doesn't buy FreeSwitch. Anyway, off of that hobby horse, good for Sangoma. I totally missed it, but we got some clarification there. So Ryan says that Zoom was caught red-handed selling user information and videos to advertisers, so that's interesting. And then Ryan says, don't worry, my team is working on some things that'll make Sangoma piss their pants. Ryan, are you happen to be talking about public security vulnerabilities? Or what? Can you let me know what that is? You could also email me. But yeah, so we are completely monetized. So that is one thing that we have to get used to. We are completely monetized, everything we do. So, and I did see that Verizon purchased Blue Jeans, which is interesting because it doesn't IBM or VMware, isn't that what they're using as the Blue Jeans tool? So, but Ryan, if you want to comment right now, if you've got any more questions, now would be the time to get those questions in. And like I said, I appreciate everybody coming back. We had some technical glitches a little bit ago with the audio and Windows updates. So, but one more time, I'll say it, my public apology to Sangoma for assuming that they did not give credit to Jitsi. So we'll see what they think about that. All right, well, there's no more questions coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap it. Everybody be safe, be healthy. If you need to talk, email us. So Ryan, I can create a space for you on my Synology, and you can upload things. You can upload things directly. So email me, Ryan, just to get the communication going, and I'll give you a customer folder. That's something else that you're going to see, how we're pulling all of our customer folders out of the cloud onto our own on-prem Synology servers. And some of you already have been using it and have those emails. So, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank you all for being here. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com. All those affiliate links are down below. I want everybody to have a great Saturday. Be safe. If you need to talk, you can email us. And as always, I will see you in the next video.